Talking with Jim Prochaska from the Protvin softball days. He was a member on both the 1962 and 1965 state tournament teams out of Protvin fast pitch softball, and mainly talking about the 1962 team because it's 50 years ago that team went on to the state tournament, and that was a big deal in those days. A little town of, I think it was 302 people. And all the guys had some kind of tie-in to the town, and you guys went on a real remarkable thing for the town of Protvin back in those days, Jim. What do you recall?
Well, I recall there was great crowds at our games, a lot of backing from the local merchants. They obviously pitched in, bought the uniforms, and gave us a few bucks each year to get started. And I also recall then having our rivals, particularly Duchecks and Cresco, and then going on to play in the district softball tournament at Wings Park at Owine. We had some very good games there, very tight games, close games. Sonny, of course, was our pitcher, and he held the teams often scoreless, or 2-1 ball games, 3-2. They were really close ball games. None of them were blowouts. And one thing about the Protvin softball team, we always, after our victories, we always celebrated our victories very well.
Yeah, I recall that as well. And but to take us back to some of those games, I mean, for a little town like Protvin, because people don't realize probably that back then it was one class. So it wasn't like you're playing towns your own size. You were playing Waterloo and Des Moines and all those types of towns in a state tournament thing. So when you finally knew you qualified for the state tournament, what did that feel like, Jim?
Felt very good, and we were excited. I think we probably celebrated even more.
And so, do you recall any of the state tournament game itself? I know it was a 1-0 game. Sioux City, Leroy Carlson. Yeah.
Sioux City Reams Frozen Foods was the name of the team.
Okay. Now, what do you recall from the game itself?
The game itself, this pitcher Carlson was very tough. I believe he was a lefty. And the game was tight. I mean, we didn't get very many hits. They didn't get very many hits. They scored 1 run in the middle of the ball game, I believe. And I do recall with the final out of the game, my brother Bill hit a long fly, deep left center field, I believe, almost cleared the fence, but he didn't.
Yeah, I've heard that story from several people that it could have just as well went out as not, and that would have been a heck of a way to win the game because there was somebody on base, I understand. Of course, you had a pitcher by the name of Sonny Kleshik. We just learned he made it into the Fast Pitch Hall of Fame finally, well deserved. And what do you remember about Sonny pitching back then?
I agree. I concur with what you said. Well deserved honor for Sonny. He was a tough pitcher. He could place the ball well where he wanted to put it, and like I said, we had a lot of ball games where his pitching actually won the ball games for us because we did not score very many runs under some circumstances because we were facing good pitching
right.
as well. And so he hung tough in there, and with his arm and his bat, he got us to Des Moines.
Right, and Protvin never, back in those days, never shied away from competition. You mentioned that you're playing against a lot of tough pitchers, even though, and another thing I always liked about Protvin softball was the guys always had to be part of the town in one way, shape, or form. So you had a small town going up against big, powerful teams, could compete because of strong pitching. A lot of it had to do with, but a real good group of guys all the way around. But that always made it so very special, being that all the players were from around Protvin or had some kind of tie-in.
Yes, absolutely. It was there was a good close-knitness on the team. Just to kind of, and also talking about the fans a little bit, when we did go to the state tournament, Joe Pissinger organized a fan bus and I don't know for sure how many fans came down. And they also sent us a telegram. And I had the telegram, but I just now found the envelope. I cannot find the telegram. It must have fell out in the move I made.
Okay.
But the town supported us very well. The park was at home was packed many times, and it was just a good feeling, good exciting feeling.
And of course, this coming Saturday during check days, we're going to have honoring of that 62 group. But of course, you know, all softball that ever happened in Protvin, it was really good, and you know, hopefully you guys can you know, celebrate one more time together during the celebration of check day. That'd be great, huh?
Right. It'll be great to see all the guys. I hope they can all make it back. Hope there's only one person that I know of on our team that is no longer with us, and that is Bernie Curry.
Right.
And the rest of the players, as far as I know, are all alive. And look forward to seeing, like Wayne Kreitzer, of course, Sonny, Bob Howard, Brother Bill, Roger Crow, Charlie Frana, Norman Ira, John Swoboda, and of course Mo, our bat boy. And it was a lot of fun.
Yes, it sure was. That's Jim Prochaska, shortstop, leadoff hitter, not only in 62 when they went, but again in 65 when the team went and finished third in the state, and they'll be honoring that group in about 3 years. But thanks a lot, Jim, and we'll see you this weekend.
Well, thank you very much, Randy, for contacting me, and thank you for setting this up. We really appreciate it.
All right. Jim Prochaska, and now of the Dubuque area, of course, a Protvin native.